Cyber Intelligence for You presents Case Studies in Ransomware When Backups Fail into Financial Fallout. Ransomware doesn't just lock files. It locks businesses, hospitals, airlines, manufacturers, and entire industries out of their own data. In an instant, backups meant to be the safety net can become the single point of failure. In the past year, ransomware struck across every sector, from arts and entertainment to healthcare to manufacturing and aviation. Ransomware doesn't just lock files. A major car manufacturer halted production. A global airline was grounded. A healthcare payment processor went dark. A performance organization's donor systems were encrypted. 4 different industries. One shared weakness: unvalidated, untested backups. Attackers don't just target production systems anymore. They go after backups, deleting, encrypting, or corrupting them, knowing that if recovery fails, victims will pay. Let's look at what happened. Case Study 1 is Jaguar Land Rover. This is a $1.7 billion lesson in recovery validation and supply chain resilience. Ransomware crippled JLR's IT and manufacturing systems across the UK and global sites. Production halted for 4 to 6 weeks. Supplier and dealer operations were severely disrupted. The scope was vast and impacted factory automation, supplier connectivity, procurement, and logistics systems. The total loss is still increasing and is $1.7 billion US. There is over $300 million in lost production and delayed vehicle deliveries, and hundreds of millions spent in system rebuilds, supplier compensation, and forensic recovery. JLR had a backup compromise or unvalidated restore points, which delayed restart. Case Study 2 is SF Jazz. This leading performing arts organization in San Francisco suffered a ransomware attack that encrypted both production systems and their backups, leaving donor, ticketing, and accounting systems offline. Fundraising operations halted for weeks. Financial data and donor history were lost. Lawsuits followed, alleging their IT provider failed to secure or monitor backups. The root cause? Backups were stored online in the same domain as production servers, unisolated, unvalidated, and ultimately unrecoverable. The likelihood of data loss reached 60%. Average downtime lasted 14 days. The financial impact exceeded $1.2 million in lost ticketing and donations. Compliance exposure was high, violating EU AI Act Articles 15 and 18 on robustness and record-keeping. Case Study 3 is Change Healthcare. A ransomware infiltrated one of the nation's largest healthcare payment networks. National claim systems froze. Hospitals and clinics couldn't bill or get reimbursed for over 2 weeks. Congress launched inquiries. Regulators stepped in. The root cause? Centralized backups, no network isolation, allowing attackers to encrypt both live and backup environments simultaneously. The average downtime stretched to 20 days. Operational losses soared to $250 million. The probability of recurrence hovered around 40%. Reputational damage severe. It also raised compliance red flags under the EU AI Act, Articles 9 and 15, and under HIPAA's contingency and backup plan requirements. Case Study 4 is Delta Airlines. Following a faulty software update, 60% of Delta's critical systems went offline. When the company turned to its backups, they discovered what many learned too late. The data was there, but it wasn't recoverable. Restorations were incomplete. Thousands of servers had to be rebuilt manually. Flights were grounded worldwide. The global downtime lasted 72 hours. Operational losses reached $200 million. More than half of backup sets were found inconsistent or corrupted. The regulatory exposure was rated high, violating resilience expectations under NIS 2 and the EU AI Act Article 15. Across industries, the numbers tell the same story. Backup isolation, validation, and recovery testing are the weakest links in the chain. And when they fail, the cost is measured in millions. Regulators are taking notice. New frameworks, From the EU AI Act to NIS2 and HIPAA, demand proof that organizations can recover cleanly and continuously. It's not enough to back up. You must prove you can restore. Resilience means more than having a copy of your data. It means knowing that copy is clean, isolated, and recoverable before an attack ever happens. Because in ransomware recovery, there are no second chances. The question isn't if ransomware will strike, but how fast you can recover when it does. Test your backups. Validate your recovery. Prove your resilience. Prove your recovery. Ransomware isn't just an attack. It's a test of your recovery. Want to learn how to solve for and build a business case for ransomware with ROI? Contact us at Cyberintelligence4U, info@cyberintellu.com.